6 Super Eagles stars who must impress against DRC to make World Cup squad. The Super Eagles training sessions have come with mixed fortunes, and while 7 of these players currently with the team will definitely miss out of the final list, who among them desperately need that big performance? Coach Gernot Rohr has earlier hinted at having already earmarked 20 Eagles who are more than assured of their places on the plane to the Eurasia country, provided they do not suffer any injury or relapse. Most of these players he meant are well known to any follower of the Nigerian national team. But the wildcard choices are not in any way to be written off just yet, and Monday's meeting with DR Congo provides another opportunity for these ones to try and suss further belief in them, at least before the team. In finally pruned down to 23, below, AllNigeriaSoccer.com presents readers with these players who are surely going to come under stern scrutiny at the Adokia Amayasamaka Stadium as their hopes of a World Cup adventure goes down the wire. Mikel Agu, the Bursaspor midfielder, has never been a popular choice in the middle of the park for the team, and notably, seems the most midfield player likely to be axed. Joel Obi's current standing in the team makes it all the more difficult for the 24-year-old, and while Uche Agbo equally seems to be in Rohr's good books, it seems inevitable Agu would have to provide something spectacular to usurp even one of his fellow midfielders. The DR Congo game looks like his last chance saloon if he is handed some minutes. Stevenese training session updates from the Eagles camp has shown the locomotive Plovdiv man to be a decent player to have around, but could he really fancy his chances of usurping the backup centre-backs, bearing in mind that the Balogun, Troost-Kong defensive combo is not likely to change anytime soon? With Rohr less likely to risk throwing much of his most important players out against the Leopards, how he handles his Super Eagles debut come audition on Monday would be particularly instructive in the forming of opinions. Junior Lokosa. Well, what we are quite certain of is that Lokosa is quite a talented player, a handful for defenders whenever he gets on the ball in the area. His goal return in the NPFL is simply amazing, and his outputs in training sessions with the national team has shown he is no fluke. What the Kano Pillars striker needs desperately now is to produce 1 or 2 significant moments of magic in a competitive game. Should he do so tomorrow, would it be enough to force Rohr into making a tough decision? Simeon Wankwo. Simi has come a long way. From his goal-scoring exploits in the Italian Serie A to earning his call-up, all things seem to be working perfectly to plan. But inevitably, it only seems his hopes of joining the more established attackers in Russia lies on any of them falling to an irremediable injury. With Rohr spoiled for choice in attack, something big would have to come from the lanky striker if he takes to the pitch against their African opponents. Chidozie Awaziem's position in the Super Eagles is equally not set in stone, and while he has not been particularly impressive when called upon, he has somewhat been back to come good. Also, Oloaina, Kenneth Omero and Stevenese look to be above the non-defender. From the reports from the camp, and issues of fitness going into this test game might not bode so well for him. The jury could be out on him tomorrow. Delajiboy. Rohr has already hinted on the possibility of taking just 3 of his goal custodians to the Mundial, and that is where Ajiboy comes in. With Francis Uzoho, Daniel Akpeyi and Ikechukwu Ezenwa all above him in the pecking order of goalkeepers, the manager could elect to give the Plateau United man a chance to assess him properly before dropping him. But what happens if he produces some jaw-dropping saves against Yannick Bolasie, Cedric Bakambu, Benikafobi and co? Emmanuel Chineza.